Amaterasu was the sun, or at least, that's how the people of Cadia saw her. Her laughter brought the dawn, her tears made the rain. When she sang, the sun shone brightly upon the fields of golden wheat and the silver rivers that snaked through the land. She was their protector, their guide, and the source of all life and warmth. Amaterasu was also gentle and kind, beloved by all who knew her name. Her honesty was as pure as the sunlight, and her heart held a deep love for her people. She would do anything to protect them and the land they called home. But even for a goddess, life was not always easy. And for Amaterasu, the sun goddess, a storm was brewing, one that threatened to shroud her beloved Cadia in darkness. For generations, Cadia had been a land at peace. The people were happy and the land prospered under Amaterasu's watchful gaze. But peace, like all things, must eventually end. From the shadowed edges of the world, a creeping darkness began to spread. This darkness was not just the absence of light. It was a living thing, filled with malice and hunger, seeking to devour all that was good and pure in the world. It was a war that had been waged since the dawn of time, light against dark, good against evil. And now, this war had found its way to Cadia. With the darkness came whispers of ancient evils, long-forgotten creatures stirring in their slumber. Among them were the dragons. Once they were creatures of immense power, soaring through the skies, their scales shimmering like jewels. But the darkness had twisted them, corrupted their hearts, and turned them into harbingers of destruction. There were two kinds of dragons in Cadia. The solar dragons were creatures of light, their scales gleaming like polished gold. They were fiercely loyal to Amaterasu and the people of Cadia, their very breath a weapon against the encroaching darkness. Then there were the lunar dragons. Once they were as beautiful as their brethren, their scales shimmering with the cool light of the moon. But the darkness had poisoned them, twisting their forms and filling them with a deep, insatiable hunger. The lunar dragons were drawn to Cadia's treasures, ancient artifacts imbued with the land's magic and Amaterasu's power. One of these was the Kusanagi, a sword forged from the heart of a dying star. It was said that the sword held the power to banish darkness forever. The theft of the Kusanagi was a devastating blow. It was a symbol of Cadia's strength, a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness. And now, it was in the hands of the enemy. The theft sent a shockwave of fear through the land. Amaterasu, usually the epitome of warmth and light, felt a chill grip her heart. The theft of the Kusanagi was a tragedy, but worse, it was a harbinger of things to come. For the Kusanagi was not the only treasure that protected Cadia. There was also the Yasakani jade, a necklace containing a single radiant pearl, said to hold the essence of Cadia's life force. It was a symbol of peace and prosperity, and it was intrinsically linked to Amaterasu's own power. As long as it remained safe, Cadia had a chance. Amaterasu wept, and her tears fell as rain upon the land. The loss of the Kusanagi weighed heavily on her heart, but she was a goddess. She could not give in to despair. She knew that the fate of Cadia rested on her shoulders. The lunar dragons, emboldened by their success, grew bolder. They attacked villages, their shadows spreading like a plague across the once fertile land. The solar dragons fought bravely, but they were outnumbered, outmatched. Amaterasu knew she had to act, but what could she do? The Kusanagi was gone, and the Yasakani jade, while still safe, would not be enough to hold back the darkness forever. She needed a plan, a way to unite her people and drive back the shadows that threatened to consume them all. But even in the darkest of times, hope endures. Amaterasu, drawing on her courage and the love for her people, rallied the Cadians. She called upon their strength, their resilience, reminding them of the beauty and the light that they were fighting for. The fight for Cadia was far from over. The theft of the Kusanagi had tipped the scales, and the shadow of the lunar dragons loomed large. But Amaterasu, the sun goddess, refused to give up. She would fight for her people, for her land, for the very soul of Cadia. And she knew, in her heart of hearts, that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, a single spark of hope could ignite a fire that would banish the shadows forever.